Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that, honestly, almost every ambitious leader eventually stars in. It's that exact moment you run headfirst into a suffocating wall of management burnout. We've all been there, right? But this is also a journey about breaking through that wall to find structural clarity. We're going to look at how scaling your impact absolutely doesn't mean you have to scale your stress. So let's just jump right in.
Here's a quote that really hits the nail on the head. I didn't need more teams. I needed a system. Now, if you've ever felt completely crushed by your daily management responsibilities, this realization is exactly for you. It is so easy to look at a chaotic workload and think, oh, the answer is obviously more headcount. We convince ourselves, if I just had another team, maybe 3 more people, everything would be fine. But throwing more people at a fundamentally broken process, that just scales the chaos. The missing ingredient isn't personnel, it's a system.
Chapter 1. The Illusion of Control, the Slow Creep of Burnout.
Because, you see, this kind of burnout doesn't break you suddenly. It's not some giant, dramatic explosion. No, it's this slow, frantic, creeping reality that sneaks up on you while you're busy putting out fires. It starts incredibly small. First, one team asks for a quick update. No big deal, right? But then another team pings you because they desperately need a fast approval. And before you've even finished typing that reply, a third team is waiting on a decision you genuinely thought you already made yesterday. These compounding, minor requests just start chipping away your time, literally minute by frantic minute. Suddenly your attention is being pulled in a dozen different directions at once.
And before long, our standard, everyday tools warped into sources of extreme daily stress. Your simple email inbox, it completely transforms into this makeshift project dashboard, just absolutely flooded with status checks and urgent flags. And your calendar, well, it stops being a schedule and turns into an absolute battlefield. You're just fighting to survive from a 10 a.m. sync to an 11 a.m. check-in with literally zero space to actually think.
And then comes the real gut punch realization. Before you even realize what's happened, you are not managing multiple teams anymore. Actually, scratch that, it's worse. You are being managed by them. Your entire day is dictated by the loudest pings and the most urgent requests. You've completely surrendered your leadership to pure, unadulterated reaction.
Which brings us to Chapter 2, Diagnosing the Real Problem, when busy breaks down.
Okay, so to actually fix this, we need to take a step back and look at the situation calmly. On paper, everything looks entirely under control, right? The org chart is super clean, the project scopes are perfectly defined. But the painful, messy reality? You are constantly reacting to shifting priorities. Meetings are multiplying like weeds, and your spreadsheets are just scattered across a dozen different drives and departments.
And this creates a really dangerous paradox. On one side, everyone was busy. The activity metrics were completely through the roof. People were typing, meeting, discussing, sweating. But on the flip side, alignment was completely disappearing. High team activity was actually masking a total loss of direction. It's like everyone was rowing incredibly hard, but the boats were all pointing in entirely different directions.
So here is the absolute crucial point, the core thesis of what we are unpacking today. And the lesson hits hard. Managing multiple teams successfully is not a workload problem. It's just not about waking up earlier, downing more coffee, or simply working harder. It is a systems problem. If you are drowning, you do not need a bigger bucket to bail water. You need to fix the hole in the boat.
Chapter 3. Building Your Management System, the Antidote to Chaos.
This is where we transition from the pain to the cure. If you are feeling that chaos right now, know that you can absolutely move into clarity by building the right structure. Here are the 5 core structural pillars you need to stop just keeping up and start truly leading. Step 1. Establish one single source of truth where everything lives. Absolutely no more hunting for files. Step 2. Create a shared reporting rhythm that removes interpretation, so everyone knows exactly when and how to report. Step 3, set crystal clear priorities that actively filter noise from actual urgency. Step 4, build dashboards that show reality. And Step 5, the really big one, delegation of ownership.
Let's zoom in on that last pillar for a second because it's so often misunderstood. True delegation is about transferring ownership, not just tasks. If you just give someone a task, they complete it and come right back to your inbox asking, okay, what's next? That still drains your energy. But when you transfer ownership, you empower your teams to stop waiting on your say-so and start owning the outcomes themselves. It's a real game changer.
And to properly support that ownership, you need dashboards that show reality in seconds, not meetings.
I mean, think about how much of your week is spent in status update meetings where people literally just read numbers to you. By setting up the right tools, you filter all of that noise out. You can see the reality of your projects at a mere glance, which saves you from those endless, soul-draining check-ins.
Chapter 4. Becoming the Architect, the New Normal.
So what happens once you stop trying to be the hero who handles every single email? Something incredible. The very first thing you'll notice is a total shift in communication. Conversations become shorter, yes, but they also become so much clearer. Because the system is handling the what and the where, your conversations can finally strip away all the unnecessary fluff. You aren't wasting your breath trying to figure out where a file is, you're actually using your time to strategize.
As a result, the volume of your meetings is drastically reduced, yet the quality of your decisions is actually improved. Doing less busy work directly leads to higher quality leadership outcomes. You finally have the mental bandwidth to step back, see the big picture, and make the calls that truly matter.
Because at the end of the day, true leadership at scale is not about doing more. It's about designing clarity so others can move without waiting for you. That right there is the golden rule. A truly successful system allows your entire team to function, adapt, and execute completely independent of your inbox.
You have to remember, relying on your own memory, your own availability, or your own willpower isn't a system at all. It's just pressure, and pressure doesn't scale. Systems do. You can only squeeze so much productivity out of your own stress before you eventually break. Systems, however, can handle infinite growth.
Which brings us to the ultimate identity shift required to overcome management burnout. You have to transform. You must stop being the center of coordination. You know, that bottleneck where every single decision has to pass through you. Instead, you need to start being the architect of clarity, the person who deliberately builds the environment where everyone else can thrive.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really mull over as you stare down your calendar and inbox tomorrow morning. Are you currently acting as a center of coordination, frantically trying to hold the whole shebang together? Or are you stepping up to become an architect of clarity? The choice is entirely yours, and the system is just waiting to be built. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.